Then moving on to the Unmasked album. How did you come up with the idea for a cartoon cover?
I called Peggy Tamarkin, who used to be a writer for us.
Mm.
I don't know if you know her name.
Yes.
Do you do?
Yes.
Okay. And I called Peggy the other day because I knew I would be talking to you, and I said, Peggy, do you remember how that happened? Because I don't.
Okay.
And she said, not really. She said, but she did write it.
Mm.
She did write the words for the Unmasked cover. But she said, well, if you remember, we did a multiple-page ad for the Destroyer album in some of the rock magazines. And she said, and that was like a cartoon strip. I said, oh, I vaguely do remember that. And I said, I had Ken Kelly draw it, the fellow who did the Destroyer cover.
Mm.
And he drew it in black and white in pencil. And it was some kind of a story that we had made up. The reason why we did it that way was, now I'm not on Unmasked yet. I'm still talking about the Destroyer ad, but, when we came up with the Destroyer cover, it looks like there is some story behind it. Why are these guys standing on this pile of rubble? What is that city behind them that's burning? Why did this happen? What's going on? Mm. So they wrote some crazy story to explain the Destroyer cover, I guess.
Okay.
And it was done in comic book style with Ken Kelly doing the drawings. I don't remember anything about the story. It was stupid comic book stuff, so I think that stuck in everybody's mind as a way to, convey a concept. So, of course, after Destroyer, we did Rock and Roll Over, and then we did Love Gun, and then I don't know, where did Unmasked come? What album was before Unmasked? Do you know?
Dynasty.
Dynasty was before Unmasked?
Yeah.
And then Unmasked?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess that was still floating around in our consciousness, and maybe Howard Marks, maybe even Gene. Nobody really remembers that I talked to how the comic strip idea came from Unmasked. But I do know that Howard Marks said, I want the last frame of the strip to say, I still say they stink.
Do you know why?
And you can write a story around that. Okay. And I think that's what Peggy did.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do something that was self-deprecating, a little poking fun at their self, not taking themselves too seriously. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why they put that last, I still say they stink in there.
Okay. So the two comic books that Marvel Comics put out had nothing to do with doing this Unmasked cover?
I don't, maybe, what year did they come out?
77 and 78.
And that was right around that time, right? A little preceding Unmasked, maybe?
Yeah.
So, sure, that could have had something to do with it just because comics were in the air, Gene is a big comic book fan. He loves all things comic. He loves all science fiction and that whole genre. That's the part of his, background as a kid. He loves it. So all of that mixed together, out came the comic book.
To tell you the truth, I'm a big Kiss collector myself, and I have never seen that strip that Ken Kelly did in black and white.
You never saw what?
The comic strip that Ken Kelly did.
The ad.
Yeah, the ad.
Well, I'll tell you, I called Ken. Mm-hmm. I didn't call him. I wrote him an email 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And I said, Ken, do you remember that job, and do you have a copy of it?
Yeah.
Because I want to see it. Yeah. If this guy is going to call me for the interview, maybe, it'll get my memory going a little bit.
Yeah.
He said he never kept it. He doesn't have any copy of it at all.
Okay.
Peggy might have a copy of it, but I asked her to send it to me, and she never did. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could ask her again.
Okay.
But it wasn't a great job, to tell you the truth. I wasn't that happy with it, art-wise. Ken talked me into doing it. I mean, talked me into letting him do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great painter.
Mm.
He can really paint, but I didn't like his drawings for this job, and I wanted to get somebody else who does the black and white ink, beautiful black and white inking of comics. And that's not really Ken. He doesn't do that. He's more of a painter.
Yeah, yeah.
But he begged us to do it. He said he could do it. I'll do a great job, but he didn't. I just don't think it was what I was looking for,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was what it was.